You're listening to the CX Innovators Podcast.
As business leaders look for ways to improve productivity and profitability, they're increasingly turning to innovative automation and self-service technologies. But keeping up with the rapid pace of new innovations can be overwhelming. Now there's a website to help you do just that. From the publishers of Kiosk Marketplace, Vending Times, and Digital Signage Today, Automation and Self-Service covers trends in artificial intelligence, robotics, kiosks, payments, and much more. Visit the site today and subscribe at www.automationandselfservice.com.
Welcome, everyone, to the CX Innovators Podcast. It's produced by Networld Media Group. I'm Judy Model. I'm editor of Retail Customer Experience, and I'm very excited about our topic and our guest. The topic is AI in retail, and there aren't too many retailers doing as much with AI as Wayfair. Wayfair has long been on the generative AI journey. One of its latest innovations is consumer-facing. It's a tool called Decorify, and it lets consumers upload an image of their space and use the tool to reimagine it in different styles. That's why I'm so excited to introduce everyone to Sanjeev Singh Sani, a VP and Global Head of Wayfair Professional and B2C Sales. Professional is Wayfair's B2B business, which serves the unique needs of customers in interior design, office, contractor, property management, accommodation, food service, and education, all those verticals. The B2C sales is the inbound sales channel, and that engages with customers over the phone, chat, email, and messaging. With over 20 years of experience running large organizations and scaling tech-powered businesses, Sanjeev is a seasoned GM and tech leader who delivers customer-centric solutions, drives revenue growth, and builds high-performance teams. He has a strong background in services, logistics, and tech, having worked with leading firms such as McKinsey, KPMG, IBM, and Citibank in various roles or regions. He has built businesses from the idea and concept point to the 100+ million top line and manage multi-billion global P&Ls. So welcome, Sanjeev, and thank you for being here. So let's just dive right in. Let's talk about Wayfair's AI strategy and how everything is going.
As you know, Judy, Wayfair has technology at the core of everything that it does. We believe we are an innovative technology company that focuses around the experience of our customers and the suppliers who provide those goods online. We've been testing and learning new ways to enhance customer experience for years and years, going way back to when the company was started in itself. And to us, AI is almost a complementary tool to our teams, and therefore almost a huge opportunity in every which way. I would say that across the spectrum of AI technology, our platforms are being used to design, quote, purchase, plan deliveries, do end-to-end tracking, all of those things that a customer would expect when buying from an e-commerce platform, all at scale through the power of AI. Additionally, we also use AI to get our customers to the right expert in a quick and efficient way. We've patented what we call intelligent dynamic routing. The routing takes into considerations language, geography, device, customer history, customer actions in the last few minutes, and product category to get them to the right expert that can help them purchase and service their journey in the most effective way. Let me give you another example. We have thousands and thousands of product experts, all that actually work with customers to improve their journey. But we want to make sure that when a customer comes in, they have all of the choice in using the right channel, in using the right interaction, in using the quickest way to get to the solution that they want. And to enable that, we've been deploying machine learning-based solutions that take into consideration close to 400 data points and in a matter of seconds, decide whether this customer should be surfaced a chat link, an email link, a SMS link, a phone number, and where that phone number or interaction should land. Of course, all of that is driven towards using AI's power to deliver the experience that the customer wants, but at a cost that Wayfair likes. So early innings in a lot of things, including generative AI, which we'll talk a little bit more about. But for us at Wayfair, this has been core for par course for a while.
So as Wayfair has been ahead, of many, many retailers with, innovative AI embracement, where, in your view, does AI fit right now in retail overall? Like if you looked at the whole landscape, how would you describe it?
I think of AI more broadly in three distinct disciplines. And let me parse those out a little bit. So if you think of artificial intelligence, which AI being the overarching broad discipline of emulating human capabilities using machines, within that, a big subset tends to be machine learning, which arguably has been the most well known and is basically focused on developing algorithms and models that can automatically learn patterns and make predictions using the idea that these solutions will improve as more data is reviewed by such algorithms. When you talk of generative AI, which is probably the most fun one to talk these days, to me that's an extension of machine learning and encompasses large language models that basically focus on producing entirely new human intelligible output. I mean, ChatGPT, of course, is the most famous one of those, right?
Right.
And with Gen AI producing text answers that we can all use, but of course, generative AI can be used to produce audio, images, video, codes, etc. So with that broad bucketing of artificial intelligence, machine learning, and generative AI, I would say in my observation, the retail industry, especially ones which have been focused on e-commerce and using customers' digital footprints, have been using parts of these three for a while, some more developed than the others. And let me walk you through a few areas where I see most applications happening today. First and foremost, most pronounced probably, is personalization. Retailers are using AI algorithms to analyze customer data, including purchase history, browsing behavior, demographics, to provide personalized recommendations and tailored marketing messages. Dynamic pricing. AI algorithms are used by several retailers to adjust prices dynamically, sometimes even during the day, all based on demand, competition pricing, inventory levels, all towards maximizing revenue and profitability. Marketing copy development is a new one that's happening in some places. This is basically feeding previous campaign data to generative AI models, which can then create your initial marketing copy and suggest content that you could use for a future campaign. We've heard of checkout free shopping. You probably see that in some retailers these days,
Right.
where cashier-less options can be used to pick up items and just walk out of the store without doing the traditional checkout process, right? That's based on AI. Supply chain optimizations, of course, through COVID, we heard a ton about supply chain, right? And that's been an area of a lot of investment for AI, whether it's predicting demand, optimizing inventory management, improving logistics and distribution. AI is today being implemented in all of those spaces. And then, of course, customer service, likely the most talked about area on television these days. Chatbots and virtual assistants that are all powered by generative AI. There's a lot of application of the large language-based models that I was referring to before in this space, typically because traditional customer service is done by teaching people about policies, processes, and the catalogs. These large language models can learn those areas fairly quickly and can be taught to produce intelligible answers fairly quickly. And so therefore finding a lot of adoption. We spoke a little bit about intelligent routing that I mentioned. We've also patented in Wayfair. I also see applications in visual search. You mentioned Decorify, an app that Wayfair's produced, which helps customers take pieces of furniture, put them in either pictures of their home or a fictional space that they plan to build for themselves. We've also looked at cases, and I've met several scam and fraud prevention experts, which see significant application of AI on driving down scam behavior, primarily using triangulation of data across digital footprints, online forum monitoring, and shopping behaviors to even prevent loss and scam. Of course, but one more interesting area specifically for retailers tends to be sustainability and ethical sourcing. We all want to make sure we are being conscious of how we source items, and AI has a role to play there as well, just focused on identifying and modeling various parts of production and supply chain to ensure that we have lower environmental footprint and reduce overall waste and energy. So again, a long list, but I think across AI, ML, machine learning, and generative AI, it's pretty exciting times to be deploying AI in retail.
It certainly is. And, that mention of loss prevention, given all the headlines that retailers are dealing with and having to close stores, hopefully that takes a big leap forward and becomes a good solution. From from what you've seen out there and what are there any common hurdles or challenges that retailers are dealing with and might be preventing them from, going, instead of just maybe using AI and ML for one specific need, these challenges might be stopping them from doing a broader adoption?
Yeah, that's definitely true. I think retailers aiming to tap into AI face some real challenges. Despite the potential benefits AI brings to the balance sheets, the challenges are important to plan for and deal with, especially in talking to my peers outside of Wayfair as well. I think we tend to bucket some of those challenges very simplistically into, the first bucket, maybe let's say internal challenges, which several retailers face, would be things like data quality and availability. As you know, AI relies heavily on data, and several retailers have had systems where those data has been managed not very effectively and hence is not clean or relevant or of high quality. And so therefore training some of the AI models can be tough, right? Because end of the day, the models are basically learning and refining what you feed into them, and breaking those data silos and inconsistent data can be a very real challenge for retailers.
And that's a challenge that's been facing pretty much any business for decades, right?
Absolutely. And especially the legacy systems, the way they were always built, right? Like a lot of the legacy systems were built as independent silos with monolithic code.
Right.
And all of the data that sat within those systems basically could be used by any algorithm, any software. And so therefore, even deciphering what part of your software code is affecting the data and output can be tough. So getting the systems in a scalable setup with clearly defined contracts between which program writes to which program is not easy. And it's almost like a tech transformation for many companies.
So let's look at the flip side of AI in retail. What are you seeing when it comes to how consumers and shoppers seem to be responding to AI in the shopper journey?
I would say, I think as AI has evolved over the years, customers have taken some parts of AI to almost be part of their day-to-day life at this point.
Right.
To give you an example, right? When you and I go to the gas pump to fill our car, the gas prices several years ago used to change monthly and a weekly basis. Today, actually, if you notice, all of those gas price signboards are all electronic, not because it's just easy to change the price, but it's because These days, those prices are linked to international trading and can change literally by the minute or by the hour at the maximum. Similarly, e-commerce players use that on their websites to price items very closely to demand and supply. Sometimes you can find prices changing throughout the day as well, including some of the hottest items that we sell from time to time. The other part, which I think is more related to generative AI, is going to be something I think that will evolve and grow on the customers, but will take some time. So if you think about chatbots, given the legacy of some of the chatbots and the evolution of virtual assistants, the efficacy and the quality of outputs was always a question mark. And how many times do we just go into some of those chatbots and just keep typing agent, agent, agent? A human, right?
Very true.
People are experiencing something completely different these days. In fact, in some of the tests, you will see that the AI-generated response, specifically generative AI type models, their responses can be very, very accurate, like close to what a human agent would give, but responses that are at a speed of light. So clearly exceeding customers' expectation on having to take 5, 10, 15 minutes on a chat to complete and get the answer they want. So like you said, the experience there is going to be significantly transformed, that I expect that to grow on the consumers fairly quickly.
Yeah, when you talk about chatbot, looking back, when it first, I can't remember the year it came out, but it was quite a while ago. They were infuriating and frustrating. But last week I had a chatbot experience where I literally couldn't tell if it was AI or a human. The response was so efficient, and the interplay with me as a customer was so genuine. And I'm typing, thank you, you've been wonderful. And I realize, I'm probably, typing to some ML algorithm, but it's amazing. If you've been around technology for 20, 30 years and you see the advancements being made, my concern though is that now I expect every chat box experience to be on that level.
Absolutely. I think that's the surprise and amazement that comes out of a great experience like that. And like you said, very quickly, retailers and companies that are not deploying some of these at speed will face a disadvantage for sure, because the customer expectation will rise to a different level. And as you and I know, every time experience is defined, its experience is expectation minus delivery. And if your expectation is very, very high from the consumer, your delivery needs to be very, very high to deliver on that as well.
Yeah, I mean, we've run a bunch of survey over the last year, and many of them are about how consumers are going to jump that ship the minute, that experience isn't delivering what it should be. So as we're going to wrap up here, I'd love to hear what your prediction about AI in retail, say 5 years down the line, or is there some innovation you expect to see within a decade, anything like that?
I would just say, I think to me, this is such an exciting space that there's things that are absolutely bound to happen, right? The choices that a customer has is going to mushroom much, much faster than anybody can imagine, right? So expecting a human come chat interface, a chatbot itself, a live chatbot creating things that you throw a few words at. I think those choices will grow so quickly. And for us as consumers, that's going to be a really, really exciting time, because things that actually took a long, long time, or much longer than we always expected, so not a great experience, will happen significantly faster than ever before. And to that extent, I think in general, I think the speed of innovation is the other thing I'm excited about, whether it's large companies, which will be able to mine tons and tons of data to do what they used to do in 10 years in 2, or small companies, which no longer have to wait for support functions to grow before they can grow their core, can now actually get access to support functions much, much faster and focus on the innovative core that they build. But so to me, truly exciting times in the next 5, 10 years, where this conversation, when, if you have it in a few, will be
Yeah.
very.
What I've always loved is that, you have these startups and they create something, and then another company or maybe a bigger company builds on that, and something that looked like A 3 years ago now looks like Z, within 3 years. And it's very, very exciting. And what's also exciting too is that everybody's paying attention to some of the challenges with AI at the same time in terms of security and privacy and everything. So it's really, it's a very good time to be talking and writing about AI and getting to write about Wayfair and all the innovation you're doing. And I'm going to have to wrap up because we're pretty much out of time. I want to thank you, Sanjeev, again for sharing your valuable time and your invaluable insight with me and with our listeners. And I want to thank everyone for listening in.